City Council. This is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. We do have a quorum this evening. Councilman Dennis Kelly has been excused, but we do have the mayor and 3 other councilmen, so we do have a quorum. Good evening and welcome to all. We have here with us this evening Ryan Kaith from KGOS, KERM Radio. This meeting is being broadcast live on the local radio stations and also on YouTube, and it will be up on the internet on YouTube. We also have here this evening the Torrington Telegram represented by Ms. Amber Wolfington. Welcome to the press. Our first order of business is the pledge, and I've asked Councilman Deal to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item are the mayor's informational items. We have been blessed and we are thankful for the recent rains. Living in this arid climate, unless it comes with hail and flash flooding, we are always grateful for all the moisture we can get. This is especially true as the farmers and ranchers are preparing for the upcoming irrigation season, and especially in light of the bad fire seasons we've had in recent years, including extensive parts of Goshen County. In the city, I'm already noticing the greening of the lawns around town. We've had many qualified applicants for seasonal positions with the city. We still do have some positions available. Those are seasonal jobs. We have positions still available in Streets and Sanitation Department, in Water and Wastewater Department, and in the Parks Department. So again, we have seasonal positions still available, Streets and Sanitation, Water and Wastewater, and the Parks Department. Also with spring, the city will be testing its warning sirens. There was notice on the Torrington Police Department Facebook. April 1 through August 30th is our testing season for sirens. They will be tested at noon on Fridays. It used to be Saturdays, but now it's noon on Fridays. They will be tested unless there's inclement weather in the area. Those happen at noon, again, as I said, and they're loud if you live near them, but it's necessary to make sure the system is working. So it is siren testing season in the town of Torrington, city of Torrington, April 1 through August 30th. Saturday, April 11th through Saturday, April 18th is the annual spring cleanup. Bring your garbage to the baler from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. And on Saturday, April 11th and Saturday, April 18th, the baler will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's always closed on Sunday, but during the spring cleanup week, it's open on the beginning Saturday, April 11th, and the ending Saturday, April 18th. You must have a city bill with a sanitation charge on your bill and a valid ID to dump for free. Otherwise, you are always welcome to dump with a fee. There is a limit of 5 tires without rims per household, no commercial tires, heavy truck or equipment tires, and no hazardous chemicals or paint. Freezers and refrigerators must be tagged as free on free by a licensed agent. So again, that's spring cleanup week, April 11th through April 18th. We also have upcoming Hazardous Waste Collection Day. That is on Wednesday, April 22nd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The location for that is the Goshen County Resource Center on the West Highway in Torrington. This Hazardous Waste Collection Day is brought to you by the Lingle Fort Laramie, South Goshen, and North Platte Valley Conservation Districts. Acceptable items to be dropped off include hazardous waste, fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, antifreeze, lead or oil-based paint, batteries, cardboard, newspapers and magazines, and oil, 5-gallon container or smaller, large metal items, electronics/e-waste, cold cathode, fluorescent, CCFL-free, flat screen TVs and monitors, tablets and cell phones, and printers. The following items are not acceptable: latex paint, Please just dry those out and put those in a personal dumpster. Not acceptable are TV and computer monitors with cold cathode fluorescent bulbs, CCFL, and CCFL light bulbs. You can get more information about Hazardous Waste Collection Day by calling Jamie at 307-575-0126 or Gary at 307-534-5768. Again, that's Hazardous Waste Collection Day, Wednesday, April 22nd, 9 to 2 at the Goshen County Resource Center. This may seem early, but now is the time to mark your calendars for the National Day of Prayer. This is a non-denominational, non-political gathering for prayer. There will be prayers for our country, our leaders, children and youth, our military, and more. The citizens of Goshen County are invited to meet on Thursday, May 7th, on the south side of the courthouse, joining with citizens throughout the nation on this day, which is set aside for prayer. Those participating will be asking God to intervene in our lives in ways large and small. The gathering will last for approximately a half an hour, starting at 12:10 p.m. Please join us in exercising our right to assemble and our right to free speech as we approach God in repentance, supplication, and thanksgiving. Again, the National Day of Prayer, Thursday, May 7th, starting at 12:10 p.m. on the south side of the Goshen County Courthouse. With the nicer spring weather, more pedestrians will be out. Please watch for them and yield to them where required. There will also be increased motorcycle and bicycle traffic. Please take extra care to watch out for them. In a recent phenomenon, I expect to see a lot of kids out and about on those electric scooters and electric bicycles. Please take extra care to watch out for these. As always, please slow down and please do not use your cell phones while driving. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda, which includes the minutes from the March 17th, 26th council meeting as published.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the consent agenda.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Victor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approval of the consent agenda as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the consent agenda is approved. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda itself.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the agenda as presented.
I have a motion from Councilman Victorin to approve the agenda as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Warren. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approval of the agenda as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the agenda is approved. Next item on our agenda is what we call the public forum. I don't see any slips in that black box in front of Councilman Warren, so there are no takers for that this evening, but I like to explain it for anybody listening. This is a section on our agenda for non-agenda items. There's a time limit of 2 minutes, and the speaker must sign up before the meeting. This is a time for the council to listen. No action will be taken. So in the future, if anyone wants to take advantage of that, they're free to do so. We are now down to information items on our agenda. The item number 1 is Go Goshen Progress Program Grant Award Presentation. And I see here Mr. Brian Young, the Goshen County, or Go Goshen CEO. Welcome, Brian.
Are we right here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thanks, Mr. Mayor and Council, for having us here tonight. Just a real brief background on the Progress Program, which this grant dollars that we'll award tonight is based around. The Progress Program is funded through the quarter penny economic development tax. It's designed to reinvest dollars back into Goshen County communities and businesses. In just the past fiscal year, $383,350 was reinvested into Goshen County businesses and community projects through the Progress Program Grant Fund. That's real money going back into local businesses, community improvements, and projects that residents can see and benefit from. To our purpose here tonight, each municipality receives annual funds through the Progress Program. These funds are intended to support local projects that improve the quality of life, assist with infrastructure, amenities, or community enhancements, and provide matching funds to help projects move forward that may not otherwise happen. So with that said, Mariah Harkins is with me, and we're proud to present this ceremonial, although I already gave the check to Lynette, $20,000 check to the city of Torrington for much-needed upgrades to the fire department equipment. So,
We appreciate that.
you're welcome.
What we've been doing of late is, if you want, we will come down and we will have a photo if somebody's willing to take a photo.
Well, let's do it.
Okay?
It's a big check, so.
Yeah, we do have both fire chiefs here, too. Outgoing and incoming.
And Jack, if you gentlemen want to come up, because this money's going for fire department air packs, is my understanding, so.
Other than me, you should probably hold this.
My fingers out of the way.
Okay, ready, one. Got it. One more, yes. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mariah. You're welcome. Thanks. Thanks, Mariah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lynette.
See you later.
All right, we are in information item number 2. Item number 2 is the Wyoming Community Gas Update, and I really appreciate Rhonda Estes, Senior Accounting Clerk for the City of Torrington, who is very responsible for working on this program and understanding this program and presenting this program. So come on up, Rhonda.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So I just wanted to let people know that this is the balloting time for our natural gas. And so if if our residents have received a ballot, this is the time that they would want to ballot before April 22nd. And this gives them a chance for the supplier of their natural gas. And we have 2 voting members on the Wyoming Community Gas Board. And so we do have a promotional code that we can offer if you're interested in Wyoming Community Gas. And that will actually put you into a group. The bigger the group, you get a little bit of a discount then. So I wanted to let people know that they can come on in, and the City Hall clerks can help them. I can help them. So if they have any questions, on any of it, no matter which supplier they want, we are here for the residents, and we want to help them. So we are able to, if we can't answer their questions, we can get help for them so that they can understand a little better about the balloting part of it. So the natural gas, this is only for the supply portion of it. Black Hills Energy still does the billing. They still take care of the lines. This is directly for the supply part. And with Wyoming Community Gas, one of the neat things that has happened is a portion of money that is made will come back to our community. And so we've had some really neat things that we've been able to benefit from with the residents that have chosen Wyoming Community Gas. So some of those things are the EWC scholarship. We have some exercise equipment along the mini trails, picnic shelters and park benches. Our library was just a grant recipient for Wyoming Community Gas, and they received some ADA accessible shelving for the library. And we have the community center lighted sign out front. We've received some skate park equipment in years past. And this year, when I went for training at the first of the month, I came back with a distribution for Torrington in the amount of $12,405.88. So if you know anyone that is wanting assistance in balloting, don't hesitate to send them our direction. We would love to help them in any way that we can.
And Rhonda, those ballots come out in the mail. The city is not responsible for any of that.
That is correct. They come from Black Hills Energy, actually.
So look in your mail for them. And then if you have difficulty understanding it or want help, then the ladies at the front end on the east side of the building in the office are more than willing to help you and answer any questions. And if you don't know the answer to the question, as you said, you will send them to somebody who does, right? But you're
Yes.
happy to help with that.
We have some contacts so that we can get information for them. So, but we'd love to help anyone that is interested, and we're very thankful that the fathers of our towns did back in, I think, 96. They all got together and asked for the natural gas to be deregulated. And that's where this program actually began, because we only had one gas supplier. And so,
All right.
yes.
Thank you. Gentlemen, do you have any questions for Ms. Estes? All right.
All right,
Thank you, and thank you to Community Gas for that $12,000.
Yes, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, we are now down to action items. There's action item number 1, which is the mayor's appointment. I'm asking council to approve and confirm Mr. Jefferson Schick as fire chief. We're doing it this evening because the way he's chosen is he's elected by the members of the Torrington Volunteer Fire Department. They have their election in February, and under their constitution and bylaws, the position becomes effective for the newly elected fire chief as of April 13th, 26, and it's a 2-year term, so Chief Schick's term will run from Monday, April 13th of 26 through Monday, April 10th of 2028, okay? And so I would invite you up, newly elected Chief Schick.
Gentlemen,
Welcome, and just to break the ice here, I interviewed you after your election. You told me some stuff about your background and your experience in the volunteer fire department, and you are the chosen man for this term by the members of the fire department, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. Gentlemen, do you have any questions for Mr. Schick? Or me?
Maybe if either of you could just relay your conversation, his background and that sort of thing.
Well, I don't have as good a memory of that as he does, but he's got substantial experience. I know where he works, but go ahead, Mr. Schick, and let the council
This year
know.
would be 22 years on the fire department. I've held several positions from specialist to captain to division chief, and now be, with your guys' blessing, fire chief, so.
And my understanding is Cody Scott is going to be assistant chief again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I think the power of appointment for assistant chief lies in the chief, right?
Yes, sir.
And you plan to appoint Cody Scott as assistant chief?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Any further questions? Well, I appreciate your service, and I appreciate the Torrington Volunteer Fire Department, obviously, and thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, what I would be looking for is a motion to approve or confirm Jefferson Schick as the fire chief with a term from April 13th, 26 through April 10th of 28.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make the motion to approve Jefferson Chick and your appointment of him as the fire chief from 4/13/26 to 4/10/28.
Thank you, Councilman Deal. I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve and confirm my appointment of Jefferson Schick as new fire chief with a term from April 13th of 26 to April 10th of 28. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Victor. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of all those in favor of approving and confirming the mayor's appointment for Jefferson Schick as fire chief as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, that appointment is effective April 13th. Thank you, Chief Schick. All right, we are on item number 2, appointments, official voting delegate and alternate for the 2026 Wyoming Association of Municipalities, otherwise known as WAM, Summer Convention Business Meeting to be held on Thursday, June 4th, 2026 in Laramie, Wyoming. And on your agenda, gentlemen, is a request to approve me as the mayor as the official voting delegate and to approve Sylvia Anaya, our deputy clerk, as the alternate voting delegate. This year, I think Ms. Anaya and I are the two that are going to be attending. As you know, that's when the business meeting is held. And I'm asking council to approve myself, the mayor, as the official voting delegate. And then if an alternate voting delegate is needed, that be Sylvia. I don't think there's been any information sent out. And they are usually pretty good about sending emails to everybody, so I don't think a decision's been made regarding that. Any other questions or comments?
If there are none, Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the official voting delegate and alternate for the 2026 WAM Summer Convention Business Meeting.
All right, thank you, Councilman Victorin. I have a motion from Councilman Victorin to approve the official voting delegate and the alternate voting delegate for the WAM Summer Convention Business Meeting to be held on June 4th of 2026. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Warren. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approving and confirming the official voting delegate and the alternate voting delegate as set forth in item 2 for the WAM Summer Convention Business Meeting to be held on June 4th of 26, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, those that delegate and that alternate delegate are approved. Next item on our agenda is at the bottom of page one, yes. Proclamation proclaiming April 21st, 26 as National Service Recognition Day. And I will read the proclamation aloud. The top, it says City of Torrington, proclamation. Whereas service to others is a hallmark of the American character and central to how we meet our challenges, and whereas the nation's counties, cities, tribal governments are increasingly turning to national service and volunteerism as a cost-effective strategy to meet their needs, and whereas AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps senior participants address the most pressing challenges facing our communities, from educating students for the jobs of the 21st century, to fighting the opioid epidemic, to responding to natural disasters, to supporting veterans and military families. And whereas national service expands economic opportunity by creating more sustainable, resilient communities and providing education, career skills, and leadership abilities for those who serve. And whereas AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps senior participants serve in more than 50,000 locations across the country, bolstering the civic, neighborhood, and faith-based organizations that are so vital to our economic and social well-being. And whereas national service participants increase the impact of the organizations they serve, both through their direct service and by managing millions of additional volunteers. And whereas the national service represents a unique public-private partnership that invests in community solutions and leverages non-federal resources to strengthen community impact and increase the return of our taxpayer dollars. And whereas national service participants demonstrate commitment, dedication, and patriotism by making an intensive commitment to service, a commitment that remains with them in their future endeavors. And whereas the AmeriCorps shares a priority with local leaders nationwide to engage citizens, improve lives, and strengthen communities, and is joining with the National League of Cities, the National Association of Counties, Cities of Service, and local leaders across the country for National Service Recognition Day on April 21, 2026. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Herb Doby, Mayor of the City of Torrington, Wyoming, do hereby proclaim April 21, 2026 as National Service Recognition Day and encourage residents to recognize the positive impact of national service in our community, to thank those who serve, and to find ways to give back to their communities. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and signature as Mayor of the City of Torrington, Wyoming, this 7th day of April, 2026. Herb Doby, Mayor. Attest, Lynette Strecker, Clerk Treasurer. So that, gentlemen, is the proclamation. It's very self-explanatory. So if the council approves, I would entertain a motion to approve the proclamation and approve my signing of the proclamation.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make that motion to approve the proclamation proclaiming April 21st, 2026 as National Service Recognition Day, and your signature.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Deal in item 3 to approve the National Service Recognition Day proclamation and approve my signing it as mayor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Victorin. Any further discussion? Seeing none, item number 3, all those in favor of approval of the proclamation of National Service Recognition Day on April 21st, 26, and my signing of the proclamation, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, that proclamation is approved, and I will indeed sign it. We are on page 2 of our agenda. Item number 4, another proclamation proclaiming April 24 as Arbor Day, and I will read that proclamation. At the top, it says, "Celebrate Arbor Day. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products, and whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community, and whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Herb Doby, Mayor of the City of Torrington, Wyoming, do hereby proclaim April 24, 2026, Arbor Day in the City of Torrington, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated this 7th day of April, 2026, Mayor. And that's the reading of the proclamation, and I invite Mr. Estes up. Dennis, could you just give us a little background on these Arbor Day proclamations and Tree City USA?
Well, this has been going on in Torrington. I think it's the 43rd year that we've been in the Arbor Day program, the Tree City USA. So every year since I've been here, they try to get with the fourth graders to the school and set up some tree planting somewhere in town. And the last quite a few years has been up at the ballpark. This year we're thinking some other places because we lost so many trees in our cemetery this year, and we needed some help up there. So along that line, if anybody wants to donate trees to the cemetery, we could sure arrange that, or anywhere in the parks. We'd sure take those donations, and we'd sure take care of them. But we lost a lot of trees this year for the wind, as everybody did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we bring the fourth graders out. We'll plant them, hopefully, at the cemetery this year. I haven't talked to Mr. Hickman yet, but we'll get that set up.
And in my experience as mayor, it's the Wyoming State Forester that's come over.
Correct. We get the foresters to come over, and they speak to the kids. The mayor generally comes up and speaks to the
Right.
kids.
And they seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, they get out of school. Yeah, they get to run a shovel.
Some days better weather than others, but,
Yeah, we've.
all right. Gentlemen, do you have any questions for Mr. Estes? All right, thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
All right, we are on item number 4. I would entertain a motion to approve the proclamation proclaiming April 24th, 26th as Arbor Day, and approve my signing of the proclamation.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the proclamation designating Arbor Day and approve your signing.
I have a motion from Councilman Victorin to approve the designation as Arbor Day as presented and to approve my signing the proclamation. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Warren. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Item number 4. All those in favor of approving the proclamation proclaiming Arbor Day and approving my signing the proclamation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, that proclamation is approved, and I will indeed sign it. We are now on item number 5, Policy Handbook, new policy. This is the Motor Vehicle Record Policy. And I'm going to make Pat say one word. Anything to say, Assistant Chief Conley?
The policy is pretty straightforward. Essentially, it allows the city to obtain driving records for new hires, as well as mandating that current employees disclose to the city if they have any major driving infractions. This does not include anybody under the age of 18, simply because it's illegal for us to get those records as their juvenile records. The whole purpose of this is so that the city doesn't employ people that are an unnecessary driving risk or incur excessive costs to our insurance.
Okay. Good explanation. Thank you, Assistant Chief. Lynette, did you have anything that you wanted to add to this?
So the whole reason this has kind of been brought up is we had a policy in the past, and this seems to be a bit of a bottleneck in our hiring procedure for our seasonals. It takes 2 to 3 weeks to get these back. And a lot of our seasonals are, especially those in the hired for the pool, are under 18. So it comes back 0 anyway. So we really need to get this in place right now so that we can follow this policy as soon, effective immediately, so we can get those seasonals hired for the pool.
Thank you, Lynette.
Yeah.
And Councilman Deal, you're on Wage Committee. Did you have anything to?
Yes, the other thing to add to that is if they are under 18, like the lifeguards at the pool, they are not driving city vehicles anyway, so.
Correct.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, the only people that are allowed to work for the city of Torrington that are less than 18 are lifeguards at the pool. Everybody else has to be a minimum age of 18 to be employed by the city. All right, any questions for Assistant Chief Connolly or Clerk Treasurer Strecker or Councilman Deal? All right, we are on item number 5, Policy Handbook, new policy relating to motor vehicle record policy. I would entertain a motion to approve the new policy handbook regarding motor vehicle record policy.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make that motion to approve the new motor vehicle record policy.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman deal to approve the new motor vehicle record policy set forth in item 5. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Victorin. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Item number 5, all those in favor of approving the new policy on motor vehicle records signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, that new policy in item 5 on motor vehicle records is approved. Next item on our agenda this evening is item 6, FY 2027 Seal Coat and Pavement Marking Project, YDOT number AT0, or ATO, I guess, 012A. And with that, I would call on Jeff Harkins, our Director of Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I recommend that council award this fiscal year 27 seal coat and pavement marking project to Straight Stripe Painting from St. George, Utah, in the amount of $239,630.50, and authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the attached resolution 2026-05 showing the city's concurrence with the award. Background of this project includes the seal coating and reestablishment of pavement markings on the main runway, the crosswind runway, and all taxiways and general aviation areas up at the airport. This project is typically a 5-year cycle on the state's seal coating and pavement marking project. However, the state is now going to a 7-year cycle. So that being said, this would be advantageous for the airport at this time because it's not going to be available for another 7 years. The bid opening was held on March 31st, 2026 for this project. There were 4 contractors who submitted bids in conformance with the bidding requirements, and the results are shown attached to your agenda and in MC Schaff's award recommendation also. The low bid from Straight Stripe Painting was $116,569, or 32.7% under the engineer's estimate of $356,199.50. The project cost funding for this project is 90% reimbursable by YDOT, 10% participation from the city. The engineering part of this contract was previously approved by this council on December 2nd, 2025, in the not-to-exceed amount of $28,261. These funds are also reimbursable at that same 90%, 10% reimbursement rate. Funding will be requested in the fiscal year 27 budget, and the construction will be under account 5540885, and the engineering will be under account 5540830. That being said, I'm open for any questions.
There are, didn't you tell me this morning there were 11 airports that are going to undergo this process?
Correct. This is a statewide contract that is administered by this YDOT. And as a result, they do a number of airports each cycle. There'll be 11 airports in this cycle.
Okay. And we're hopeful that this work won't happen till FY 27 begins on July 1.
Yeah, I requested that Torrington be put at nearer the end of the schedule than at the beginning due to the budgeting requirements.
All right, gentlemen, do you have any questions for Mr. Harkins?
So as I understand it, this contractor is the contractor for all of those 11 airports.
Correct. So what happens is all the contractors bid on all the airports, and the lowest overall price contractor, even though maybe some airports he may have been higher than some of the other contractors, but overall, this was the lowest overall bidder.
That's an interesting point and a good point. One contractor will do the 11.
Correct.
And it appears that only 2 of them, including this one, actually fulfilled all the requirements of the bidding process. The preference for labor and,
I don't think I'm following your question.
just saw that CR Contracting and Maxwell Asphalt, the 2 highest bidders, Maxwell Asphalt did not, or CR did not acknowledge.
Oh,
the
you're talking
addenda
about the MC Schaff's award recommendation letter? Yeah, correct.
Yep. But this company does fulfill.
Yes,
All the requirements.
obviously they do, or why that would not have selected them.
Had they been a successful bidder of a project here before?
I believe so, yes. I think they did it the last time.
And on all these airport projects, I always want to emphasize the split. This, YDOT's paying 90% of the cost of this. The city is bound to pay 10%, which is a great split for the city.
Very cost-effective for the city to participate in this program.
So, as I understand it, Mr. Mayor, you're looking for a motion to award the bid, and then we would consider a resolution formalizing that we did such
That's
authorization.
That's correct, and we discussed this at staff this morning, because we're not used to this, where we award a bid and then approve a resolution, but it's Mr. Harkin's understanding, this is boilerplate sent out by YDOT, this resolution, and I think it helps with their accounting and their auditing, so they can look in their files and say, yes, indeed, the City of Torrington City Council did approve this. I think that's what that resolution does. It's
And I did go back in my records, and the Taxiway C relocation project, which we just, or paving project that we just completed, that did have a resolution that the mayor did sign.
okay.
And it was requested on the airport terminal project. I don't know why the reason we didn't go forward with the resolution, but I do believe we gave them the minutes from the council meeting showing the approval. But I think they prefer to have the resolution.
It's just evidence to YDOT that council did indeed approve it.
Correct.
So, to answer your question, I think in item number 6, I would look for a motion to approve, and award the bid, and approve my signing and the clerk's signing of the resolution.
Okay, do we need to have the resolution read in?
Good point.
Separate.
Good point. I will read with
It doesn't have a title, so.
everybody's permission, I will read the resolution. Thank you. Resolution reads as follows. Resolution 2026-05, whereas the City of Torrington has received a bid proposal for the seal coat and marking airport pavement project, YDOT project number ATO012A at the Torrington Municipal Airport, Torrington, Wyoming, and whereas the City of Torrington has requested funds from the Wyoming Department of Transportation, project number ATO012A, to pay for 90% of eligible project costs, and whereas the City of Torrington's consultant, MC Schaff and Associates, has reviewed the bid proposal received and recommended award to Straight Stripe Painting, Inc., St. George, Utah, in the amount of $239,630.50. And whereas the City of Torrington concurs with the recommendations of MC Schaff and Associates in award of YDOT project number ATO012A to Straight Stripe Painting, Inc., St. George, Utah, and whereas the City of Torrington Recommendation is contingent upon funding availability from the Wyoming Department of Transportation, WYDOT, in award of WYDOT project number ATO 012A to Straight Stripe Painting, Inc., St. George, Utah. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Torrington that the bid proposal from Straight Stripe Painting, Inc., St. George, Utah, in the amount of $239,630.50 for WYDOT project number ATO 012A be recommended to WYDOT for award and acceptance, passed and approved this 7th day of April, 2026. Herb Dobie, Mayor. Attest, Lynette Strecker, Clerk Treasurer.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I would move to award the bid to Straight Stripe Painting of St. George, Utah, in the amount of $239,630.50 for the FY27 seal coat and pavement marking project, and further approve the resolution 2026-05.
All right. We are in item number 6. I have a motion from Councilman Victron to approve the FY 2027 seal coat and pavement marking project, to award the bid to Straight Stripe Painting, Inc. of St. George, Utah, in the amount of $239,630.50, and also to approve resolution number 2026-05. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Warren. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, in item 6, in favor of approving the seal coat and pavement marking project and award the bid to Straight Stripe Painting of St. George, Utah, in the amount of $239,630.50, and approve resolution number 2026-05, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, that project and resolution are approved, and I will indeed sign it. Thank you, and thank you for the reminder to read the resolution. Appreciate that. All right, we are now on item number 7, waiving of nepotism policy, seasonal swimming pool employees. And with that, I would call on Lynette Strecker, Clerk Treasurer.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Every spring, we do hiring at the pool, and we do have an issue again this year with a nepotism between a mother and a son, and it was the same one as last year, so we just need to approve it again this year so that we can move forward with the hiring process.
And the purpose of this is you don't want a relative under the supervision of another relative without waiving the nepotism policy.
Yeah, correct.
All right. Gentlemen, do you have any questions for Mrs. Strecker?
It's pretty straightforward. I think we've done this, I think, every year we've been on the council. So.
It seems like it. That's right. All right. If there are no further questions for Mrs. Strecker, I would entertain a motion in item 7 to waive the nepotism policy regarding seasonal swimming pool employees.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make that motion.
All right, have a motion from Councilman Deal in item 7 to approve the waiving of the nepotism policy for seasonal swimming pool employees. Do I have a second?
I would second.
Second from Councilman Victron. Any further discussion?
Just real quick, I
Go
think
ahead.
I know the intent of Councilman Deal, but it would just be for the current year.
Just for the current year, yes.
Okay. All right, any further discussion? All right. Item number 7, all those in favor of waiving the nepotism policy for this current year for the seasonal swimming pool employees signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the nepotism policy regarding seasonal swimming pool employees for this year is waived. Thank you. We're on item number 8. WAPA SLCA Scheduling, Accounting, and Billing Procedures Contract. And with that, I would again call on Clerk Treasurer Lynette Strecker.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I was emailed this agreement the last week of March from WAPA, saying they need to have this signed and sent back. I did check with Mean, who is our wholesale power supplier and does administer our WAPA contracts, or our WAPA power. And they said that, yes, this is a valid request, and that they, approve of this contract. And basically, from the email that was sent with it, there's a few things that changed. They added some definitions for allocator, sequest, and resource adequacy. And then there's some information regarding scheduling units and CROD limits for inside and outside the SPP market. And then there's information providing specifics regarding the sequest tool. Apparently, sequest is the automated tool they use to schedule the power or something in that. I really don't know how exactly it works, but it seemed like there were just some minor changes to this contract, and I would just ask for your approval.
And I would mention that I asked Mr. Eddington, the city attorney, to review this and advise me if he thought there were any problems with our signing this contract, and he didn't seem to think there were any problems with this. I'm getting a affirmative on that from the city attorney.
That's correct, Mayor.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
And I appreciate your doing that, Mr. Eddington. I got in a fog just trying to get through all the acronyms.
To the extent I understand it,
So I'm not the only one.
Well, and if it's approved by Mean, it's a standard contract. If this is United States government we're dealing with, they're not really interested in negotiating terms with us. It covers scheduling, accounting, and billing procedures, and I think we're safe to enter it, and I don't think we have any choice, frankly, if we want to receive power.
That's correct.
All right. Gentlemen, do you have any questions for Mrs. Strecker or Mr. Eddington? All right, we are on item number 8. I would entertain a motion to approve the WAPA SLCA Scheduling, Accounting, and Billing Procedures contract as set forth in item 8.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the WAPA SLCA Scheduling, Accounting, and Billing Procedures contract as presented.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Victorin to approve the WAPA SLCA Scheduling, Accounting, and Billing Procedures contract as presented. Do I have a second?
second.
Second from Councilman Warren. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Item number 8. All those in favor of approving the WAPA SLCA Scheduling, Accounting, and Billing Procedures contract set forth in item 8 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, that contract in item 8 is approved. Next item on our agenda is approval of the bills from March 18, 26 to April 7, 26. And again, I would call on Clerk Treasurer Lynette Strecker.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. Attached to your agenda were a list of bills, and I handed out an additional set for you to look at tonight. We did have a 3-week break, so there's quite a few to look at. So let me know if you have any questions that I can answer.
Mayor, I have a couple questions if I could.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Ms. Strucker, I noticed I think I counted about 3 different cemetery lot sellbacks. And I wondered if those folks indicated, are they moving or,
It didn't say, but generally what happens is, they decide they don't want them, or they're gonna be cremated, or something in that sense, and then they wanna sell them back.
the other question I had was on the new North Platte irrigation and ditch. Do we get to benefit from some of that water?
For the industrial park,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
If there are no more questions. In the absence of Councilman Kelly, I will make the motion to approve the bills as presented.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Deal. We are in item number 9, approval of the bills. I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve the bills as presented. Do I have a second?
I would second and thank the councilman for the high honor of taking that motion.
That is duly noted. All right, I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve the bills as presented, and a second from Councilman Victor with compliments. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Item number 9, all those in favor of approval of the bills as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those, any opposed, signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the bills in item 9 are approved. We are now on item number 10, public comment, and I see Fire Chief Luis Correa back there, and he told me this morning he would give us a report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So yeah, we had quite the start to the year with calls. It slowed down quite a bit for us, thankfully. Unfortunately, it's not because of the moisture we've been getting. But we did respond to a call on the 1700 block of West E for somebody burning in their backyard. And then we also responded to the 2500 block of West B. A car backed into a gas meter, causing some damage to the car, but the meter fared pretty well. We also responded to the care center for a fire alarm. They had a pipe bust in their fire suppression system that in turn flooded one of their hallways. We also responded to a carbon monoxide call on Road 61. And just right before the meeting, we responded to a tree on fire on Road 39H. So that's what we've had for calls anyways. On another note, as you guys know, you approved Jeff Schick to be the new chief. So with that, I'd like to take this time to thank my chiefs that have helped me through my time as chief, my assistant chief was Cody Scott. Rural Division Chief Dale Munt. City Division Chief Jason Moore. Training Division Chief Michael Schuler. Safety Division Chief Lance Pitch. And then in my time I had 2 separate admin chiefs, Stacy Foster and Aaron Rutz, as well as my dive captain Albert Lira, and I had an air pack captain Brad Meacham throughout my time as chief. I'd like to thank all those guys. Takes a lot to run the fire department. I'd like to thank the council and mayor for letting me be the chief, as well as the rural fire board. Also, with that being said, I know we took the picture with the Go Goshen Progress Grant for the air packs. They were also graciously enough to award a grant to the Rural Fire District for the purchase of a UTV.
The what?
A UTV, a side-by-side. So we are in the process of getting that purchased, and I think it'll be a great addition to the Rural Fire District as well as the city of Torrington.
Right.
That's all I have.
Well, before we let you sit down, thank you for your services, Chief. Appreciate it, and the council appreciates it, and
Yes, indeed.
we all agree. Thank you, Luis.
Thank you.
And one more thing before you leave, Chief. Are there any changes planned this year that you know of for now that we're getting close to the irrigation season for burning off of the ditches and getting rid of the weeds?
Actually, tomorrow at 8 a.m., I believe that we will go into a stage 1 fire ban, countywide. So that'll go into effect. I believe the emergency manager put out a Facebook post that detailed that in quite some detail. But yeah, so far that's all I know of as of right now. Tomorrow will be a stage 1 ban.
At the risk of making anybody uncomfortable, we have the new chief, we have the exiting chief. I would be happy to have a photo with you gentlemen and council if you wish to do it.
Yeah, oh yes, please.
Somebody wishes to take the photo.
Good-looking group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Louise.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we are still in public comment section on the agenda. Is there anyone out there who has a public comment? Mr. Estes.
Mayor, I'll give you an update on the swimming pool. Everybody
Please-
always seems to
please-
be interested in that
please-
pool,
please
especially
do.
me. As far as we know, knock on wood, everything's running. The new heater's working, the filter's working, we don't have any leaks. They got one little minor issue with the heater, a little plumbing thing they're gonna get fixed. Not a huge issue, everything's operational. We did winterize this differently than we've done in the past, ever. In the past, we open the pool up in the spring and we drain it and we scrub all the moss and the algae and everything off the side with muriatic acid. Talking to the new the guy that put our new surface on said, you don't really want to do that anymore. Just leave the pool full. And so we hung 3 5-gallon buckets of chlorine in there all winter and had holes in the bottom. And so when we opened it up, there was absolutely no buildup of algae or anything, but it had a tremendous amount of dirt in there from that wind. So we're trying to get that cleaned up.
From the wind this year.
From the wind, yeah. We've never had, to my knowledge, I've never seen that much dirt. I was sweeping it today, and there were just piles of it in the bottom of the pool, that fine sand. So our vacuum's running, and we're trying to get it sucked through our sand filter and backwashed and all that. We're going to try to clean it out. Hopefully, we won't have to drain it. It is pretty clean other than that, but yeah, we'll see. The only thing left, big major thing, is the pump on the slide. So that always kind of gives us issues sometimes, so. We have the security cameras in. I put them in this winter. They're wired, they're running. So we got 8 new cameras up. And we should be set, I hope. And I think she's got all our lifeguards hired already, so
Yeah,
stand for any questions.
I appreciate that report. And gentlemen, do you have any questions for Mr. Estes? Thank you, and I look forward to a grand swimming season.
We're due after 2 years of trouble. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Estes, appreciate it. All right, any other public comments? And councilmen, if they have anything to say, you're welcome.
Mr. Mayor, I was just wondering if Assistant Chief Harrington could give us an update on the e-bike situation as the new ordinance seemed to be working?
Yes. So far, we've got all our officers out with instructions to enforce that vigorously. And so far, I know I've seen a lot more kids with helmets on, and we've had numerous contacts about, because of that ordinance throughout the community. We anticipate having a lot more as the summer months come upon us and school lets out.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chief, Assistant Chief. Any other questions or comments?
What are the filing dates? They're coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, May something.
Yeah, I don't have those in front of me, but yeah.
Sylvia, do you know?
I don't.
It's middle of May. I don't know the
Just know it's getting
specific
close to the
date.
season and thought people might want to
Yes.
start considering.
So if people are considering running for many offices in this community, I think all filing dates are, and I don't have the specific date, but it's in the middle of May or third week of May. So, good to remind the folks of that. Okay. All right. I see no further public comment. We have completed this evening's agenda, so this meeting is adjourned, and thank you, folks.